turn this down a little bit. It's not a bad song, honestly, but we gotta focus on Star Trek. We gotta focus together. We gotta join together again to prepare for March, talk about what might be the best Flash Pass you've ever seen, and do a little bit of revisioning, talk about what we just saw in February, kind of go over y'all's grades. Happy to say that we've had more people participate in our second grading rubric than we did in our first, which is always good. We got a few hundred more people so far. Today will be the last day. I will close the grading rubric after today so that we can start compiling the data and then giving that to the Scopely overlord. So if you haven't yet, grab it. If you have, thank you. Hopefully it's been helpful to everybody to see it and get an idea of what everybody else thinks. And it's been very helpful to me. And I think no matter what, it's going to make me a better content creator because it helps me better represent the players. And at the end of the day, that is very important to me, and hopefully it's equally important to y'all. I mean, wanting a content creator, needing a content creator to properly represent you, well, that's gonna be part of my goal. So we will go over a little bit of the responses and stuff today, and we'll discuss some of the numbers, but because I haven't closed it, I don't have all the data points. Like, I can't tell you what the top word search was or the top complaint was. All I can really give you is where y'all are, so where the players were who responded. Basic grades, so like I can tell you the average grade for the Talios, which honestly gonna shock many people. It has the highest we've ever recorded, the highest that I've ever recorded positive grade for a single feature that's come out. 1.6% of the players gave it an A+ bonus. That doesn't count A grades that it also had. So in total, it was basically 70% of the game gave it an A or an A+. I mean, it's the highest positive grade I've ever seen the community give in terms of like number of the community. At the same time, expansion cubes literally is about as bad as assaults was in terms of grading, so I guess it balances out a little bit. I don't know if that's really a balance, but expansion cubes got a 51.6% F and then another 30% D. So over 80% of the players like, this is so bad it literally makes the game worse. So balance in all things, ladies and gentlemen, balance in all things. Hopefully y'all are having a good day though. Welcome in. Some of y'all were shouting out your servers earlier. Love to see that. Love to see the different servers coming through and being represented. So shout out to them. And it was good to see a lot of the newer servers too, like EU servers, but server 60, but server 87 was here. I think I saw 93, 85, 92. So definitely some newer servers as well as coming around with some of our original players, which I recognize a lot of y'all who have been here a long time. Like, you know, Graduate K has been here a long time. Stan plays with me on server 32 apparently. Stan, where you at on 32? But yeah, so Walter says the Talios is everything the Defiant should have been. Well, the Talios is basically the exact same thing the Defiant is, just for Borg solos versus Dominions. There's really no difference between them mathematically. So I think the frustration with you're having is more you want the Defiant to be even better, which not really arguing that. I did want the Defiant because it's the Defiant to be better. So let's begin. Would y'all like to start our conversations with me trying to find a gas note with going over February, or do y'all want to talk about this Flash Pass? Because I do continually get asked, is this Flash Pass valuable? Personal opinion, I believe this is the most valuable Flash Pass arguably that the game has ever had. But that's kind of up to y'all as well. I think this is the most valuable Flash Pass I've ever seen. It's like, it's normally a Flash Pass goes epic, rare, uncommon, or even like rare, uncommon. And this Flash Pass goes rare, epic. And I'm honestly shocked at the amount of shards. And then, yeah, Jason, the Mac OS, if you play on a Mac, if you are not part of our Discord, strongly encourage you to join my Discord so that you can get up-to-date information. This has not been even announced by Scopely. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that's announced this so far, but for those that don't know, if you're listening if you have a Mac, there is now a Mac client that you can play on. You go to the Star Trek Fleet Command web store. We have confirmed that if you have the M1 chipset, the M2 chipset, or even Intel chipsets as old as like 10.7, you can play on a Mac with your own client. And sadly, I had no idea this was happening. Just to give y'all a visual, this is it on the website. Back in like 2021, I brought up to them when the M1 chipset was coming out, because one of the hypes about the M1 chipset was Mac going to have, it was going to have more, not only was it going to have a devoted chipset that it created, but it's going to have the ability to do a lot of this interchanging with like its app store and stuff like that. Well, I had not gotten told any update about it. I kept asking you about it. Hey, are y'all going to do anything with the Mac client like you do with the PC client? Blah, blah, blah. Kept going, and one second. Had to cough. And honestly, I hadn't gotten told an update on it, but apparently some of our higher level players have been beta testing this, and it is now open. So if you have a Mac, you can now play it on your Mac just like you would as a PC client. And so far, early reports are that it's stable, that it works very similar to the PC client, and those are good things. So congratulations, Mac users. You now have your very own client. And again, I don't know why Scopely didn't announce this. This has still not been announced 24 hours later on their any official communique. And I don't know if DJ's even put it in his announcements, but I did announce it on my Discord yesterday. So hopefully y'all are enjoying it. Hopefully y'all are enjoying it. Brand says, if it worked perfectly till Apple nerfed the workaround to get the app. Okay. Beck announced the release today, except it was deleted, Lord Asp. I'm not sure if you noticed. The announcement that got pushed out today on the official Discord was deleted. So technically, no, they didn't, because that post no longer exists. So it doesn't technically count. I don't know if y'all saw that, but so that's why I'm saying they're not even talking about it, because it got removed. In fact, if you go to my Discord, I think it's kind of funny, but if you go to my Discord, I have a channel for official Star Trek Fleet Command announcements. And what happens is if the original server deletes the announcement, it actually says on my server, original message deleted. And it says that on my Discord, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, in under an hour, they had removed it. And I don't know if that means that the Mac client wasn't supposed to be released yet. It was still supposed to be beta testing, and somebody accidentally flipped the switch on the website. But whatever the reason is, there are now hundreds of players that I know who have downloaded the Mac client. And even though Macs don't make up the highest percentage of players, as much as we might love Apple, we admit that it is not the most. It's still a significant amount of players have already started using it. So there you go. There you go. So you've got the Flash Pass, which is arguably the best Flash Pass this game has ever had. And now you've got Mac players getting their own client. Honestly, dude, March is starting off so good. Like, March is just a really good month so far. Month is starting off great. Mac users have money to burn like whales. I mean, I guess I don't honestly think necessarily. I mean, maybe they just like a particular product. It's not like Macs are that much more expensive than PCs, because my PC, granted, this is what I do for a living, my PC costs more than most Macs. So it depends on what you're doing, right? I mean, PCs have cheaper price points, but yeah. Anyway, you can say as long as Ripper does not work out a patch for the PC version, it'll be superior. Yeah, we'll see. Mac same spec as my PC would cost 3 times as much. I would have to look up what a Mac same spec as my PC would cost, honestly. But either way, it's available for those who've been waiting and those who are curious. You now have one, so go enjoy, all right? Go bask and enjoy. Eric says you're working on Windows 98. By the way, we are going to get into some of this. I love answering questions, though. Eric, I'm only bringing your comment out because we actually had a challenge on our Twitch channel that I don't think you're aware of. I know you're making a joke, but we actually put out a challenge that anybody who actually gets Star Trek Fleet Command to work on Windows 98 in whatever form wins a free t-shirt from the channel. So I know you're saying that as a joke, but just put it out there. There you go. Can you tell us what the next arc will be? Fenris, you already know the answer to that question, and all further questions about that will be ignored. So just letting y'all know now, if you ask about what the next arc is, I'm ignoring you. So don't feel bad. You've already been warned. You've already been warned. So Mac users, congrats. Flash pass though, Harrison still incredibly valuable in base defense. Incredibly valuable in base defense. Adam, to be honest, I don't really do hints anymore because this game has not been worth hinting at. The game has not been bringing out content that is consistently performing well enough for me to believe it deserves hinting, to be honest with you. That doesn't mean I believe the game is bad, but until the game starts living up to being hype worthy again, I'm not hyping it. I'm not going to be, I don't want to look like an a-hole, essentially, what it comes down to. Or I'm sorry, we're on YouTube. I don't want to look like a butthole by shilling for Scopely only for them to give out February 2023. Now, if every day is like March 1st, awesome. I'm excited. I'm actually going to hint that, you know, but right now, like and I think this is kind of one of those things where this week is already better than basically the totality of an entire month. So when we get some more consistency, I'm going to be more excited to release hints. I mean, yeah, I already know what's coming. Excitement varies. I mean, I think overall most people will be happy next month, but at the same time, it's an execution thing. If I tell you just the content that's coming in March, yeah, actually I really, really do like it. But we know it's not always about the content as much as it's about execution. The content on paper in March, everybody here is essentially going to be happy. But we'll see. Execution is a real thing. Oh, by the way, thank you, Adam, for reminding. For those who have not looked, you do have your bonus refinery up and going. So get your pulls in, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not already, get your pulls in. Now, remember that the bonus refinery still uses the old refinery numbers. So just be mindful of that yes, you might pull better from your regular refinery versus a bonus refinery. But the good thing about the bonus refinery is it's guaranteed to not pay out commons. You're only going to get the epics and rares and uncommons. So there is value for those. There is value for those. Abraham says, I'm going to have a lot to do when I get home. My phone bought the farm last night. Abraham, I'm so sorry to hear that, my friend. Hopefully you have a backup or something. My Samsung has treated me well with 3 kids that like to throw it on the floor. I think it's their hobby. Like they're just like, oh yeah, let's throw this on the floor. Because kids are buttholes. So using the old refinery numbers and having tier 2 of the Bajorian refinery equal bonus refinery is poop. I would say this, Andy, even though the bonus refinery, and look, it's a weird way to discuss this, right? Because honest to God, this actually points to how much they've improved the refinery, right? Like we're complaining that the bonus refinery feels like poo. That's only because the refinery is like, for the first time ever, it's legitimately like hardcore improved. Like it's actually really decent now. So I'll take the extra refines, which will just blow through my materials. But honest to God, the regular refinery is decent now. It's decent. And you don't even have to have the primes because I don't have all the primes. You know, if you notice on my screen on my G4s, I've actually only got one of the G4 primes, but I have the Bajorans, the Bajoran favors, which are a free-to-play improvement to the refinery. And if you are a 40-plus player, we talk about the value of what you can do 40-plus. Well, at PA Strong, which I'm at, you come down here and you've got the Bajoran ore refinery and the Bajoran crystal refinery and the Bajoran gas refinery, which all at level 1 will improve the base payout by 50%. Max is out 150%. So that's that's the refinery it's a wild world we live in. Content that comes out like each month might not be very exciting, but the game itself is getting much better. So screen's real fuzzy, don't know why. I'm not dropping any frames, so there's no issue here, Land Shark. No issue on my side. He says, I agree that it shows how they've improved it. Given the option to improve, the extra refiners are nice for the mats, but the output makes the bonus not really a bonus. Well, it's still a bonus because bonus means, or bonus implies, and that you're getting something that you normally wouldn't get. So it is still a bonus. It's just not as bonusy as it used to feel. I mean, truthfully, you're actually getting the same amount of bonus that you used to get. You're getting the same amount of bonus that you used to get. You're just, you're now used to. So, John says, with all the new level 35 content, Talos, Defiant, Bajoran, etc., do you still think camping at 29 is as useful as it was? John, again, my camping strategy is all built around setting milestones and moving up when you've completed certain things. Because if you rush and if you get up to a higher level and you don't have a lot of things done, you're going to find the game is not only harder, but less fun. So camping for me is a strategy of we're just sitting at key levels to gather resources, to complete researches, finish tasks before we move up. So, I mean, for me, camping will always be valuable. It's tempting to want to go 35 plus, but you know, it's, if you're not ready, if you don't have the ships, if you can't even do, I mean, I actually ran into this yesterday with a player that I was doing a one-on-one with. If you can't even do the solo armadas, if you can't even participate and even do your dailies, basically, you're gonna be very frustrated. So, yeah, balance to be found there. Now, if you're ready, like if you've maxed out your 28 and you've got your officer set, you've got Pipe and Row Chin unlocked, I mean, okay, yeah, legit argument. Go ahead and move up. But if you are one of those players that you're level 35 and you're like, hey, I can't even dent a solo and this is supposed to be like brand new stuff for me, you actually end up feeling more frustrated than you do enjoying the fact that you have new content. Because you're just sitting there like, well, damn, I can't even do this. So that's a big deal for me. And there are great things about hitting that level range. You know, being able to scrap the 26s, start working on your 4-star economy, you get free primes. There's definitely great things there, but I strongly discourage people from going there until you are ready. You know, it's like Ian brings up, if you can't even scrap your Franklin to take advantage of the bio minerals for the Franklin A, well, you're gonna be frustrated, right? So take your time and complete the goals that you believe are right for your account. That's what camping is, and there are certain levels that make that a little bit more advantageous. And then move up at your own pace. Swift, I have no idea why it would be hard to hear me because the music's not that loud. But if you like, I will turn it down just a smidge. Yeah, it's like I can see where it's registering at negative 35. I've actually got it turned down 28 decibels now. So some people just have very sensitive ears. Swiftness ears. Sensitive swiftness. But yeah. So John says, is there any way to get the Franklin free to play, or do I just need to shell out $40 for it? John, no, it is completely free to playable. You get it every Saturday through an event called Cosmic Cleanup. It's one of many ships you can get. In terms of should you just shell out the money, that's completely up to you. You know, there's an argument to be made, a legitimate argument, and yeah, Will, I do have a stream deck. There's a legitimate argument to be made that if you're willing to spend in this game, and I'm only speaking to spenders now, I'm not telling this to free to play. If you're willing to spend in this game, there's a legitimate argument to go to 35, not worry about the Devore and the Franklin, and simply buy the Franklin A and buy the Fuchsia. Legitimate argument to do that, because the Devore doesn't really provide you anything in the game at low level. It's meh at best. The Franklin's payouts now are pretty terrible in terms of like the regular Franklin. And you can still complete your Swarm Sunday with your Mayflower or your Centurion or your Voclus, etc. So if you're willing to spend in the game, there's a legitimate argument to just skip those two grinds completely and buy the ships at 35, and you'll be a much happier player. But again, that's only if you're willing to spend. And keep in mind that I basically just told you to spend like $100, because I'm pretty sure both ships are $50 each. You've got to be willing to do that. And if you're not, that's okay. Grind it out. There's a free-to-play run. But there you go. I mean, when we're talking about both of those ships, like natively, both the Devore and the Franklin are like a 1-year grind to max out. And I hate it. Hate both of them. So there you go. Seems ship BPs along with other sourcing is just tough. I feel stuck between needing 3-star and 4-star. I'm Ops 43, but I have a severely underpowered fleet. Steven, again, this is a great example of why I really push sitting places and camping. And I know it's not for everybody, but the way this game works is there is a strong incentive to spend. And the higher level you go, that you have not completed a lot of what I would call baseline, the more this game pushes you to spend to catch up. And I'm a big fan of spend because you want to, not because you have to. So to prevent you spending because you have to, sometimes that means slowing down and letting people pass you by and being efficient with how you do things. Because I hate to hear a level 43 person say, yeah, I feel underpowered. Because at 42, I didn't feel underpowered, right? I had my Valdor unlocked. I had taken up my epics to a pretty decent level. And the only thing that I feel is kind of underpowered for me now are the specialty ships, which take time, like the Talios, the Defiant, etc. But I don't feel like I'm that way when it, like, put it this way. When Solo Armadas came out, I was punching several levels above my level. But that's only because I've taken that time. And there are drawbacks to that because many players who are listening to me now, there are a lot of people who are actually here in this stream who were lower level than me for a long time who have passed me in level. And that's one of the reasons is not only do I want to stay around the average player, which is one of the reasons I do keep it slow, but I also never want to reach a point in this game that I go, I can't do any of it, right? There's nothing for my level range I can't do. And that brings me a lot of relief and a lot of, stress off my shoulders. Like Charles says, they regret going 39 to 41. Their stronger ship is 4.7 million. I'd say 4.7, a decent, not great for your level, Charles, but that's also one of the reasons why my goal is to go from 39 to 42. Immediate unlock of that 42 will be better than anything you got. So it's all about completing milestones, and there's no time frame on those milestones, y'all. It doesn't matter if you complete the milestone faster than I do. It's just about completing those milestones. And it took me a year at level 39. It should not take anybody a year unless they choose to take a year. Now, like I was talking to another player and they sat at level 35 for over a year. And they were like, they want to quit the game. I'm like, look, you've completed every milestone there's to complete. Level up. And they did, and they enjoyed it more. It's not about the time you spend to camp somewhere. It's about the milestones that you complete. And once you've done those, however long it took you, level up and enjoy the game. And if you do feel like you fell behind, no worries. We can deploy strategies to catch up. 2 years at 35. Laromi, I wasn't trying to call you out, but Laromi sat at 35. And Laromi, who's been a long-time follower, was like, I'm going to quit this game. Like, this game is done. I can't stand it. I'm like, dude, just go up. You'll have so much to do. You will love it. And guess what? They like the game again. So, do you suggest dual grinding rep in the 40s? I do, Big Smiley. Unless, and this is why it's so important to determine what you are as a player, unless you are a semi-decent spender. The reason I say semi-decent spender is if you can get from 42 to 46 in like under 6 months, 3 to 4 months, you don't want to spend the time to dual faction grind. You probably want to go ahead and lock one because of the time there. But, so, yeah. I notice all the time in your videos that it seems like your volume's low. I'm not sure what that could be, Mike, because I see my volume and I actually get really close to clipping. My gain is exactly where it needs to be. So no clue. Maybe I just don't scream as loud as other YouTubers. But everything for me is pretty damn high. Maybe it's just how it's streaming from OBS. So. But like anybody that's done sound engineering, you know, I've got my gain set. I've got my EQ set to my voice. And in terms of where I'm at in the range, I'm exactly where you would want to be optimally. So. What are the bug fixes for field training? The only remaining field training bug I'm aware of is if you switched servers. If you move servers, there's a bug where you're unable to complete your field training. But that's the only one. The main one has already been fixed. The Orion Research was already fixed. So, how strong do you have to be to roughly get a G4 faction lock? Second lock? That would be 1 billion. I've seen players at the early 40s and upper 30s lock out 1 billion. So, Steven, you know what? I'm not really wanting to give out hints because I want the game to guarantee that they can live up to their own expectations. But I will go ahead and tell you, yes, you do have spin events. There are 2, I think, right now confirmed spin events that come out, leaderboards that come out next month, or this month rather. So yeah, you will have a way to dump if you want to. So if you can avoid switching servers until you finish your field training, I'd recommend it. I'm still short Moreau shards because of the bug. Yeah, that's the only remaining one I know of, and I can try to work on that again, obviously. But yeah, that is the only current field training. The main field training bug was fixed. So I wouldn't try locking out the next lock at Ops 40 to 47. We're looking at. So Barnabas, I'm not going to worry about locking. You need to hit that 1 billion lock by level 50. That's the true. I mean, if you want to set the milestone for what is appropriate to your level, 1 billion was designed for level 50. There's no point in really doing that earlier unless you just really want to. The dailies are going to get extremely difficult. If you can complete them, then higher level dailies do mean higher level payout. So if you can do that, awesome. But I'm not going to recommend it for anybody. That's not a milestone I would set. I'm not trying to lock out 1 billion, and I am level 45, heading to 46, and I'm not trying to lock out 1 billion. So because of them, my alliance, I hate assaults because my alliance refuses to put the starbase out at all. I have so much starbase research I can't do. Braxton, move alliances. That's all I can really say. I mean, I hate assaults too, but assaults has not stopped IA from working on its starbase. You know, it's we defend it or we recall it. Oh, pretty buttons. I like clicking buttons. I click the buttons. Rev clicks button. Rev clicks button. Isn't that cool? That's a cool little, the cloaking detector. That looks really cool. I just like how it looks. Who does assaults anyway? Random people. Believe it or not, assaults does happen. Just a very, very low amount. And he says if you can get to warp 185, you should be fine locking at 1 billion. And like, I can't even reach 185 yet. My highest warp range of a regular ship is the Valdor, and my Valdor's warp range is 155. So I'm 44, working on your second 1 bill lock, and that's completely okay, Kata. But if I'm talking about like what I recommend to players, I'm not going to recommend that. But people can definitely do it, right? Also, real quick, I do want to go over y'all. I'm assuming there's 400 people here. Are y'all interested in knowing last month's results based on community feedback in terms of like who liked what, the average grades, etc.? Because I do want to go over that today if y'all want to. We haven't so far. And then also I did want to do a quick plug. If y'all want to support the channel, we have several ways to do that. There's a donate link. For those that don't know, I'm a content creator. Content creators need your support to survive. I mean, this is how we support our families. So if you are willing to do that, I appreciate it. There's a donate link, and there's also really cool. This is really cool. I think so. There's a merch store if you want to pick you up some cool merch. I mean, I like to think that I've got one of the better price merch stores for people out there. I've seen content creators thinking their t-shirts are worth $50. They're crazy. You know, if you want to get out there, you want people know that no loot, no shoot. If you are OPC, any of that, hey, well, we've got a pretty cool web store that you can check out, ! Merch. And a lot of people have enjoyed it so far. And I even did what, I'm not going to wear them, but I even have hats that somebody ruined the brim by bending them. So, you know, yeah, go for it. If y'all like to support the channel, it's greatly appreciated. So let's start talking a little bit about these grades. And I would say that I'm not really surprised by any of them. I'm not really surprised at all. Yeah, delivery to the UK is expensive for me, Stephen, as well, because I gave away a t-shirt to the UK. It was $6 more expensive to give away a t-shirt to the UK than it was to give it to somebody in America. So more reason for me to just like, darn you, UK. But anyway, in terms of ops level, the most populous ranges, I actually had a great balance, I think. Good and bad. 75%, about 75% of the players who answered my poll were between 35 and 46 inch. I had around 60% of those players were just, in that same 35 to 45 range. I'm sorry, 35 to 49 range, and was about 75%. And then 60% of the players were between 35 and 45. So what that means is, if you are a lower level player, I need you to make sure that you're passing these things around to, I need you to pass these things around to your server so that we make sure that y'all get properly represented in these surveys. And then also, thank you for everybody else who's participating. I did finally get more EU people this time around, but still not enough. Now let's talk about feature grading. Overall, y'all as players gave the features in terms of all three main features a C grade, which I think is pretty fair. I think that's what I gave them as well. Overall, y'all gave features a C grade. Y'all basically said that Talios Refinery was really, really good. Talios Refinery had 21% A grading and 40.6% B grading. So y'all really liked the Talios Refinery overall. The expansion cubes, as I told y'all before, was very negative, 51.6% negative. There was literally say I got well over 1,000 players here in less than 2 days who've answered this. 10 people total. 10. This is the lowest I've ever seen it. 10 total people gave the expansion cube an A grade. It is 0.7% of the turnout. That's the lowest I've ever seen it. I mean, expansion cubes is a hella flop. Literally, Starbase Assault's got more A grades, but I think Starbase Assault also got more F grades, so take that for where you will. Hailing frequencies, just as I thought it would, by the way. Hailing frequencies has more positives than negatives. And this is why I try to tell everybody, by the way, because there were so many very loud people. Hailing frequencies is stupid. It does nothing for the game. Nobody likes it. Literally, survey proved you wrong. Survey proved you wrong. Over half of the responses all gave hailing frequencies a positive grade. In terms of just giving it an F grade, which I know is what a lot of people are going to ask about, in terms of just giving it an F grade, hailing frequencies has a 30% F grade. There's a loud vocal minority, but hailing frequencies definitely got a very nice passing grade, and I was not surprised by that. It's entertaining. It adds to the game. It's a little fun. It's a little levity. And if you don't like it, the best thing the game has ever done for a new feature, they gave you the ability to turn it off. That is awesome. If you don't like, if you truly hate it for whatever reason, you can turn it off. Happy with that. All right, moving on. The event calendar was a little bit of a mix. I was actually surprised personally, but this is why I love asking y'all, because I gave it a D grade. Tim Calloway, just real quick. The Boar Queen is sourced through expansion cubes. She already has sourcing in the game. So I gave it a D grade, but 22% of y'all gave it a B grade and 6% of y'all gave it an A grade. So there was a lot more positive sentiment around the event calendar. I believe the positive sentiment around the event calendar probably comes from the Dabo table, which I will say the Dabo table was really nice. I like the Dabo table. I think that's a perfectly legit scoring mechanic. So hailing frequencies can be turned off in your general settings, by the way, David. So yeah, the event store getting a better grade than I anticipated, but that's completely okay. This is why I do this though, because as I say all the time, my opinion is not the opinion, and it's my job to get y'all's opinion overall. So that was cool. Communication and grading did get majority positive. It was mostly people, almost 50% of players gave communication and game stability a B grade, which I think is very fair. More people gave it an A grade than an F grade, which for Scopely is pretty rare. I don't think Scopely really failed when it came to stability and communication this month. I'm not counting the normal problems this game will have, like just territory lag, stuff like that. I'm talking about new things that happened in February. Did they make the game unstable? Did the events roll out, with bugs, or their game breaking stuff? And did they fail to communicate? I think overall they did a solid job. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was solid. And y'all ended up agreeing with me on that one. So overall, when we take this grade in total, I think we're going to find that it's going to be somewhere around a C or a D grade. Worse than January, but the big thing that keeps it up is Talos. Oh, I didn't go over officer grading. I'm sorry. Officer grading was a real 50-50 split, y'all. I mean, 39.5% gave the officer grading a D, and then another 9% gave it an F. So literally 49% gave the officers a D or an F grade. But there were about 15% of the players who gave it 15% were in the A+ to B range. So there were a lot of people who just enjoyed having a free-to-play sourcing path immediately, and there you go. So there you go. Question for you: Why no Ferengi traders in the new Borg systems? No answer. I mean, we don't know. Honestly, I think the real answer is there is no counterpart to what the Ferengi does at high level. Like if you go to your platinum refinery, I mean, this is all just giving you lucrative 3-star space. There is no 4-star option for this. So the Talos isn't really expected to go get you any of these buttons. All of this is in Dominion space. Like if you're wanting the the lucrative 4-star mining, that's in Dominion space. So I think that's the simple answer why there's no traders is the Talos isn't expected to be part of that loop. So what are these mythical traders of which you speak? Ian, I know you already know the answer to that question. So, Nuts and stability is an F for me, and customer service is non-existent. See, there you go. And I hope you provided that input, Nuts. I'm just giving y'all what the average player said, and the average player gave stability a B. But I mean, this is also why I want these surveys, because if there are enough people giving it an F, well, that needs to be noted, even if they're in the minority. Like if 20% had said, hey, stability this month was an F, that's worth discussing, even if it's not a majority. But stability did not. I mean, stability grading was less than 5% of the people actually gave it an F grade. So, oh, Beck finally re-announced the Mac version. Good. Yeah, it just got re-announced. Yeah, so I beat Scopely by a day. That makes me very proud. I beat Scopely by a day, so I'm very proud of that. This is also a great example of one, what frustrates people. This frustrates a lot of players that content creators have updated information, and two, why you should follow content creators. And also, I got to give credit because there's actually players who helped notify me, so we actually found out together before Scopely. So, Victor, I already did episodes of the strike team for all 3 strike teams. I've done a Battleship, Explorer, and Interceptor strike team video. Done one for all 3 already. So, what's my take on Picard Season 3 after 2 episodes? Love it. I'm really loving Picard Season 3. No spoilers, obviously, but loving it. Loving it. Greg says, was using 759 for Borg grinding. I heard you say there's a new meta for Tier 9 Vidar and lower Talios. What's the new meta? I mean, if you've maxed out your Vidar and everything, then you should be pretty easily able to do 5-4 Stan and go max cargo and then just use the exocomps. And my Vidar can do that, and I bring in like 1.2 million. And keep in mind that I do have the Vidar skin, but I bring in well over 1 million loot using a cargo run. So, are there traders in the new Borg system? No, Nick, as we just said, they are not there. There are no Ferengi traders in the new Borg system. My Pylum count, by the way, let me go see if I can pull my Pylum. Is it, let me see, can I pull my Pylum? I think I can pull 2 today. Yes, pull 2. And I think I'm around, I don't think I've hit 300 yet. Let's go take a look. I need more faction credits. My Pylum count is 277 out of 350. 277 out of 350. So, Romy, I do 5-4 Stan with Strange New World on below decks. So, can you confirm or deny the rumors of Tau being sourced free to play next arc or soon? I think those are just rumors. They've already said that Tau was going to have multiple sourcing paths, paying being first. when that happens, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah. Fenris, I honestly don't use Galinar because I have other slots I'm using, but it makes sense to use Galinar. Jason, I'm aware of the cost. I'm very well aware of the cost of the Pylum. And I've been prepping for it with tons of research and working on my old ship parts. Now, I don't have the rares, but my goal was to get it around tier 5. But I've got the interceptors ready. In terms of the uncommons, rares, yeah, that's going to be expensive. Obviously, there's a huge bottleneck ship parts when you get up there, but I have been prepping for it appropriately, and I will be getting my Pylum up pretty damn quickly compared to some people who unlock it and get to like tier 3. I'm gonna be taking it up a little bit, and then I've got my uncommons ready. Been saving them. So I'm excited about the Pylum. Just got to get all the stuff ready for it. Talios cargo is so big on its own, you don't need to run Ston. My tier 6 Talios is 3 mil. Yeah, you don't need to run Ston on the Talios. On the Talios, you would run a normal probe crew. And my Talios at tier... I think I just took my Talios to tier 3. Natively is sitting at 1.4. With no cargo upgrade and no other love really thrown to it. Just sitting there, it's more than the... Fadaris. She's got the ion particle. Which research should I choose for? Completely up to you, Fenders. You can get 2 of those ion particles. And I think I chose try to benefit my Pylum with mine. Let me go take a look real quick and re-verify what I did with that. Let me go in here. Research. Combat. Scroll. Where was it? Where is it? Have I done forgotten where it's at? Is it not combat tree? Where is it? It's not combat. Where's it at? I'm blanking out. I'm blanking out, y'all. Help Rev be less dumb. I passed it? Oh, so it is here, and I'm just flying past it. Where's it at? Barrage. Oh, right here. Right in front of my face. Interceptor barrage. There you go. Right there. So I did dump it into my interceptors, which is good because D4, Talios, Pylum, all benefit from it. So what I'll do with the next one is I'll probably do Battleship when I get a second one, which there you go. There's your earning meta. So when I have my Coronar, it'll kind of feel a little bit left out, but when I have my Vorcha, I'll have a very wonderful 20% bonus that is so important in today's world. So important. That 20% bonus will be carrying me into the future. Yeah. Got the Pylum 2 weeks ago. Kind of nice for a free-to-play. Nice. Happy for you. Where do you get those ion particles? Wolfwood, did you not read? It literally just told you there's 2 missions. Oh my gosh, Wolfwood. Dude, it's literally in the description. It was on the screen. Wolfwood. Hey, I'll put it back up there for you, buddy. There you go. Do we have a chicken Haley frequency? Nope. Unless it has something to do with the Star Trek canon, which I cannot even think of a reason to put a chicken as the canon. No. Hey, Hugo, thank you for dropping the donate link. I appreciate that. All support is appreciated as I try to fix the foundation of a house I just bought because Vectors missed it. Yay. That's what the thing on the screen is for. Also, want to give a shout out to Hank, who actually did just donate to the channel. Hank, thank you. I appreciate it. Happy to always be helping you. Thank you for always supporting my channel. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to put that on the screen just to make sure it registers because I do like having it update. I'm also pretty sure that if you buy merch, it updates it as well, but I haven't tried that in a bit. Let me put this in here because I don't want to forget about it. I want to make sure I'm always giving you credit. Thank you. It has now been updated. I greatly appreciate you supporting me and my family. It means the world to me. It does. You know, a video I would love for you to make is explain how Superhighway works and how to get it works. Honestly, the reason I haven't made super highways is because so few players actually even can reach or benefit from that. Super highways are literally for reaching like deep space. Like you're talking about players being level 50 plus, even worrying about that, because nobody is really, I mean, in the entirety of the game, 4 digits of players are in, taking advantage of super highways right now. So that's why I've never made a video about it. It's one of those things that, yeah, it's really good. It actually is very useful. It helps with your travel times to like super deep space, but yeah, it's just long time away for most players. And as Barnabas says, DJ's already done the thing about it. I mean, DJ caters mostly to whales or higher levels and spenders, and he's put out that content. And I'm going to end up putting out the same content, and we will always put out the same content because there's only so much content. But that's why I've never focused on it, because you just don't have enough players. Anybody that wants to know about it, just always come to me and ask directly. So if you have been the TNG episode where they pick up the remnants of old Earth colony and join them with the colony that only clone chickens is in the cargo bay. I mean, there's chickens in Star Trek, but I don't think there's anything where chickens are the primary focus. So, how about Ops 44 to 46 video focusing on ships, officers, and research? Again, can be on the list. And no, I don't know the quality of the mouse pad. Like, I don't have one, Eric, but I do know, like, I've read the description of it, and it's a pretty standard, like, it's basically one of these. This is what I have on my desk. It's basically this, having read the description of it. So, how bad of an idea is it to skip 42 ships? I think very bad idea, Brett. I would not skip 42s and rely on an ISS jelly. The ISS jelly is doo-doo garbage. The ISS jelly is poo-poo. I really strongly advise people against investing in it. And even if you only take a 42 to early tiers, like I've got a tier 3 Katinga and a tier 5 Valdor, you're going to get good performance out of that. I'm probably going to end up with my Valdor around tier 7. It's much better than an ISS jelly. Much better. I mean, we're talking a significant difference in performance. So, is it better to wait for events like Display of Dominance to turn in Bajoran credits for favors, or just turn them in? I'm a big fan of just turning them in. I don't let events slow my progress to the point that I don't even wait for leaderboards anymore. Like, even on my low-level account, leaderboards are not what I'm focusing on. My focus on is milestone reaching. And if you get caught up in this super efficiency, it'll really slow down your game. I think that if you can get, here's a good example. Let's talk about the Bajoran favors here at the refineries. Let's just use these as an example. Let's just say this refinery results in me getting 100 more 4-star a day uncommon. Okay, even if y'all don't want to believe that number is possible, which I've actually kind of done it. Let's just say 50. Well, if I do that for 1 month, that's 1,500 uncommon I would have missed out on waiting for an event. 1,500 extra 4-star uncommon, but it's honestly much closer to being about 3,000 extra uncommon a month that I would miss out on waiting for a specific event or something. Don't wait. When it comes to, say, your materials trade route, which I've taken material trade route to tier 2. The amount that's saving me in ore, crystal, and gas is more beneficial now than me waiting for whatever rewards are going to be a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. So now, yes, I never said don't build the ISS jelly. Yes, 100% build the ISS jelly, but what you don't do is tier up the ISS jelly to like tier 5, tier 7, tier 9. Waste of time. Build the ISS just to get the jelly broth. So, yeah, it's one of those that, like, the value of this game, if you're trying to be as valuable to yourself as possible, waiting on a lot of these favors is a mistake, in my opinion. Take the advantage now. Get your better efficiency. Get your better refinery. And start racking in those rewards. It's kind of like people would ask me, in January, hey, are you holding off on running these new solo armadas? And they asked me at the end of the year, are you holding off on running new solo armadas? No. 1,000,000% no. Because the rewards of these are too good. Why would I slow myself down? I'm not going to slow myself down on ship parts. I'm not going to slow myself down on officer sourcing. No, I'm going to do them as much as I can realistically do them, which honestly, I do solos about once a week. I don't do them every 3 days like I could. I do them once a week, but I don't wait, right? I do them because I want to progress, and you look at the rewards of some of these, I don't know why you would want to wait. You know, I mean, if you're in the 40s, those ship parts alone are worth making sure you're running solo Dominions every week, multiple times. Multiple times. Now, I think for me, the optimal strategy would be do it every 3 days. And just because of my work schedule, I don't get to do that every 3 days. But you definitely want to run through that as much as you possibly can. The value's there. I'm having an issue that I have Tal on the ship and it's showing Kira's ability. Have you heard of this bug? I'm not self-destruct. I've not heard of that at all. Not heard of that at all. Will they ever fix Lon's lower deck feature? Probably not anytime soon, Nick. I have no idea. But I can tell you it's not a priority because she works correctly. She just displays wrong. And anytime something in the game is just a display error, it takes them forever to fix it. And they might fix it. They very well might fix it. But it's literally just a display error, so it's going to be a long time. Long time. That would be my anticipation. It could be fixed next week. I don't know. But I don't expect it being a priority because it's just a display error. Yeah, North Star's mining rate has been a display error since 2018. So, yeah, I don't expect that. Would you recommend building the Bortus with strike crew or the Sally without? Oh, if you've got a battleship strike team, Bortus all day, every day, for sure. Because the Bortus is going to be a grinder that I use for hostiles anyway. And now I've got the battleship strike team. Oh yeah, Bortus over Saladin all day. This is not 2019 anymore. The Saladin is not the king of the skies. It is not the king of the galaxy. Okay, Saladin's still a great ship. But the Saladin, I mean, there's a mythos that's been built around the Saladin from old players like myself talking about it. The truth is the Saladin is not the literal OP ship that it used to be. Players don't understand that in the beginning of the game, the Saladin was literally overpowered. It would take down Enterprises. It would take down any ship available in the game by itself as a level 28. It was OP. Those days are long gone. The Saladin is still a great ship with an amazing firing pattern, but it is no longer OP. It is no longer king of the skies. So if you're hearing all these old players talk about how great the Saladin is, technically it is great. Is it a must-have? It's not. It just has a great big gun in rounds 1 and round 4. But you don't have to have it. You will, I promise, you will be just as happy with a Border Surge Centurion. Now, if you want to have the Saladin, if you want to take the pizza cutter and beat the ever-loving crap out of somebody with it, you can. Absolutely can. You absolutely can. But it is not the end-all be-all that it once was. So, which All City ship you have in the future? Lucian, Tribune, probably. The Tribune is going to be a focus for me. I don't know if honestly, I don't know if a focus is the right word, but the Tribune, because I have the strike team battleship and that burning ability. The Tribune is so good natively because of its burning ability. So now, if only I could convince someone in my alliance that times change. He often uses you as the reason why I prefer side int. Again, Brian, that's fine. And look, there definitely was that day, but I'll put it this way: on my level 29 account. Guess what ship I do not have? A Saladin. And guess what ship I don't care if I have? A Saladin. I've got a Bortus and a Centurion, and I will get the Enterprise. The Saladin is a great ship. It's not what it was. And to be honest, it's good that it's not what it was, because what it was broken. You should run 4 Saladins? I mean, Sean, they're if I could take the crews I have now and bring them back to the Saladin days, I would run Max Morale on 1 Saladin. So Bones, Kirk, Spock. I would run Gorkon, Honor Guard, Worf, and Perla probably on a 2nd one. Then I would run Interceptor Strike Team on a 3rd one. I mean, I can find crews for Saladins back in the day. Oh man, I would have been everybody would have hated me. Everybody would have hated me. Vice says, is the Tribune worth it for versus 5-star ships? I want a Tribune. Everyone says no. Tribune 1 or Vice 1. If you would enjoy something, stop caring about what other people say. One of my favorite parts of this game is getting a new ship. Another part is most players you're talking about who are 50 plus now are spenders, and spenders have a legitimate reason to skip a 5-star ship. But what level are you? What level of spending are you? How long is it going to be till you get to level 53? How long is it going to be till you get to level 58? Right? So the advantage, if there is an advantage, and there is an advantage that a Tribune has over 53, is the cost of operation for a 50 ship is way better than a 53 ship. The drawback is, yeah, the 53s out of the gate are stronger ships, and I won't deny that. And probably the biggest benefit to me is the cost of getting a 53 ship is way cheaper in terms of faction credits and everything. At the end of the day, I want players to have fun. And if you're going to spend, you know, remember when I released that camping at 49 to 52 video? If it's going to take you a year, 6 months to get there, yeah, build your ship, have fun. Get you something new. Play with it. Now, don't get a Tribune if you want a, you know, Corvus. Like, don't go Romulan, and then you'll hate yourself. Because who's just sitting around with 1.5 million faction credits? But at the same time, I mean, have fun, right? Enjoy. Have fun. And if getting that new ship is fun for you, great. Now, the only difference for me is not about getting the ship, it's how high do you take it? So yeah, don't take the Tribune to tier 12. Maybe treat it like it's almost like a Valdor. Take it to tier 5 or tier 7. Maybe tier 5 is all, and you're fine. But I want players to have fun. So when somebody comes to me and says, hey, I'm thinking about getting this, but people are telling me no, my first question to that player is always, well, do you want it? Get it. Now let's find out how we can do it efficiently. That's a big deal for me. That's a big deal for me. That's a big deal for me. So, tier 7 Tribune okay because of the warp range? Yeah, cool. Okay with that. Mortgage your home, sell your kids, steal whatever, max the Tribune. Thank you, Scopely. Thank you, Scopely. You want to stay at level 14 for the whole month of Arch, stay active and do missions? Okay, Bobby. Hey, I hope you enjoy that, man. What was the level, pylon level you said was worth shooting for? I mean, I'm shooting for tier 7 to tier 9. Tier 9 is probably as high as I would take just about any ship because I'm not a heavy spender. But tier 7 is my goal for my pylon. That's my goal. I might take it higher, but that's my goal. Yeah, actually, do I have a, yeah. Oh, I got a, yeah. Yeah, I knew I was missing something. I need to be scrapping this. I gotta scrap this. Gotta scrap this. Already got another one. Yeah, I was like, I'm not scrapping something right now. Remember Rev's rule, ABS. Always be scrapping. Always be scrapping. I was like, I'm not scrapping something right now. So, tier 7 is my goal on the pylon. And we'll just see how we do when we get there. And yes, Daniel, they did fix Changeling, Kira, Breaking, and Eclipse Armadas. So, scrapping your 11th Mayflower. Dale, I wish I'd honestly kept track of my numbers. I don't remember what number I'm on for ship scrapping. I really don't for each one. I wish I did, because I think it's a cool thing to know. Always be mining. Not me, Victor. I'm almost never mining. I mean, I do mine, but it's not a focus. Would you advise getting a Kelvin over a Katinga? My interceptor strike team is more advanced. Two questions for you. What level are you? And are you trying to get the pylon? I'll be honest, my big anti-Kelvin is because everybody is so pro pylon. And literally every uncommon ship part in existence, I want to go to the pylon. I don't want to spend a single one on the Kelvin. So if your Kelvin is your secondary, like my Katinga is, where it's just like a tier 3 ship, yeah, fine. Make it your secondary Solar Armada ship and use it here and there for like really weak battles. But yeah. Pretty sure I'm between 15 and 20 scrap legionaries. I'm at a lot. And this is actually my second scrap Saladin. If y'all remember the graph I put up, I showed y'all the advantages to scrapping various ships. The most efficient you can be when it comes to scrapping ships is going to be scrapping the 26s. But if you're specifically looking for ship parts, then your best value is actually doing a Saladin or Centurion. So I'll put that on the screen. If y'all don't remember this, I'll put it up here. For those who didn't catch that video, we do have this in my Discord. Just about everything I do ends up in my Discord in one form or another. So if you're you see I've color graded the efficiencies with gold, silver, bronze, and when it comes to ship parts, you can see the gold is with the 28s, and that's why I'm scrapping a Saladin specifically for the Pylum. Now, it also happens that the Saladin has a better gas rate versus the D3 for whatever reason, but generally speaking, like you see with the Centurion, ship parts are where you're going to focus on it. But put out this video, 2 months ago now? And this chart is in my Discord. John Connor and myself put this together a couple months ago. And it just, like I said, it just lays out. This does not count your efficiency researches, by the way. This is just set cost of what each ship costs to max and scrap. So technically, it doesn't cost y'all as much to max these as in terms of what you're getting in return. Now, what you're getting in return stays the same no matter what, but what it costs you to max is a little bit different than what you'll see on the chart. But there you go. And in terms of what level, because this chart doesn't show you the levels, level 42, you start scrapping the 28s. So level 40 or 42. The new chart that we put out does list which one it is, but this is the old chart that was just saved on my PC. But it's either 40 or 42. And no, we don't have a schedule, Sean. 42, thank you, Osbeta. I thought so. The schedule, I assume, is Faction Hunt, Crucible of War, and Apex. So. 28 ships need scrapyard 42. Thanks, man. I did save myself a little wiggle room with the 40, but I thought it was 42. So, there you go. Feedback if Scopely stopped introducing new currency and used useless currency in our inventory. Sure, that feedback's existed forever. You want your last 5 Infinitus shards? 4 usually only happens when we have a 2-week break. 4 happens when we have a 2-week break. Still need the Terror skin. Was really hoping they would run the Swarm Armada event. Okay. Our between arc events are the same structure pretty much every week, or I'm sorry, every month, unless we have something special happen, like we have an incursion or something like that. So. Let's see. How have I completed my faction hunt yet? Haven't even been paying attention. Did I complete this? Nope. And I will be completing this because I need the ore. I actually need all of these things, but I need the ore. I really need the faction credits, but I also need the ore. I have no word on incursions. To be honest, I don't care if incursions ever runs again. Incursions need such an overhaul, and they have yet to show me that they're willing to put forth the effort to make the changes needed. I honestly don't care if incursions ever runs again. I'm sure it will, but they've not announced it. So yeah. How badly have I screwed myself for getting to use my 10,000 event store? Steven, you can message, I would say message customer support. Most times they will exchange it for you if you made an oopsie like that, but I can't guarantee it. All I can say is message customer support. So, I have a Valdor and a Pylum, thinking of picking up a Newton. What do you think? Good idea? Nothing wrong with picking up a Newton at all. Again, problem's not the right word. Picking up a ship is honestly not the difficult part. I would say the Talios has made getting 4-star ships a lot easier because the faction turn in, and you've also got improvements just like with running away teams. Like I'm pulling right at 2 Pylum BPs a day as long as I get the the appropriate mission. I'm doing 2 pylon BPs a day. All right, finish my dailies. And same thing's going to happen with the other 4-star ships because they have added all the 4-star ships into it. So as long as I'm getting my lead expedition at least once a day, I can usually pull 1 to 2. So most players are going to be able to reasonably go after those ships, and that's not the issue. It's just, do you want to dump the amount of ore that's needed into the Newton? Because remember, your buildings are almost primarily, or are primarily ore. Now you do have crystal. Like, for example, your docks are crystal and your guns are gas. And some of your interior buildings are gas, but also other interior buildings are ore. Like your away team's building, which I haven't upgraded because it is ore, is ore. Not that that 5% weapons bonus is that big of a deal, but oh well. Yeah. Would you prefer incursions or star-based assaults? Is neither an option? Is neither an option? Like incursions and loot exocom? Oh, Steven, I'm not saying that there aren't parts of incursions I don't like, but do I want the hassle and the constant fight? No, I do not. I just don't. Not worth it for me. Not worth it for me. There are no 5-star ships in the away team store, Abraham. No. 5-star, I keep telling people this. This is another reason. Do not try. What's the point of being 50 plus? 50 plus is designed as a paywalled area still to this day. It is still a paywalled area to this day. Unless you are willing to be a spender, don't go to 5-star. So, do it to yourself. Go push to send out a chest with subspace relay parts with no incursions happening. I mean, sure, no argument, but again, I've kind of I gotta go grind Borg today. I've given up on incursions. I've given them feedback. We're almost a year after incursions launched. I've put forth, and I'm not exaggerating, I've put forth easily by myself in research, in discussion with the dev teams, and all that. I have done by myself easily 100 man hours of work around incursions, trying to gather feedback, trying to talk to them about feedback, setting up meetings, working with players, talking to various level players, just over the course of months, not like in a single month or anything. I'm kind of done with it, and they're either going to listen or they're not. I've made it clear to them what players I talked to said it needed to be decent, and they have not addressed the biggest issues. Like the biggest issue being the rewards themselves are terrible in incursions. It's absolutely not worth it at all, you know. And then we just wait and see. We just wait and see. I spin, but I'm not going to 50. I'll just sit happy at 49. Honestly, I'm going to be doing the same thing, Corey, until now. If y'all follow the pattern, in 2019, at the end of 2019, the ISS Jellyfish launches and 4-star launches. At the end of 2021, 5-star launches. If we expect them to keep the same pattern in planning, at the end of 2023, 6-star launches. That's just how planning goes. If they do that, I'm not telling you that's happening. I'm telling you that if we follow what they've done historically, 6-star comes out at the end of the year. Well, anytime the newest set comes out, the previous sets get easier and cheaper. So I don't plan on being a 5-star player until 6-star is available. That's a personal choice. Because when 6-star comes out, then that's going to be the premium area. That's going to be where they're basically charging you to participate. And 5-star is going to be easier to navigate through. So I have got to go mine more isogen. I have burned up all my stores. Well, Darius, I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. Honestly, 5-star players can just quit. It just is what it is at this point. I mean, you stay because you enjoy the game, the community, or you quit. Because the same argument could be made for almost any player. You know, yeah, they max stuff out. I don't want to sound insensitive, but whales create their own problems. Like, you choose to pay and max out everything as soon as it comes out, and then you have no content. I mean, yeah, I do believe they need content, but at the same time, they can't get content every month. Just can't. You can't just cater to 5-star upper levels every damn month. You can't. You know, there's Harrison, there are between 100 and 150 level 60s in the game. So, and I'm not saying that 5-star don't need content. This is, if you remember the last state of the game, which Scopely has canceled this week's state of the game, FYI, I should have told everybody that already. They've canceled this week's state of the game and put it on hold. But when I said in the last day of the game, every level bracket needs its own, put it this way, every player level range, like 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, needs its own section in these months. And until they do that, two people are going to get SOL'd. New players, lower level players are going to get SOL'd. High level players are going to get SOL'd. So, news just for personal reasons that it got canceled. Eco had something come up, so he can't come. So it's not like Scopely canceled it because Scopely doesn't want to deal with backlash. Eco had something come up, so he can't be there. Yeah. I remember a guy who spent 300,000 Diablo Immortal and maxed his character with everything, and now he can't enjoy the game because all the other players have to catch up. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard mix. Because I'm not saying those players don't deserve things, but at the same time, they can't get things every month either, because the game does have to cater to the quote-unquote majority. But that's why my response was, look, create content for various level brackets each run. For low-level players, to me, it's easy. You rerun old arcs. Somebody in the 20s, just rerun old arcs for them. For somebody in the 50s, make them special content, and then have somebody else that's making the content for the average. So, last up to G5 was the faction miners like 6+ months ago. No, I mean, there's been other things, Darius. There's just not been things that they're excited about. You know, the Defiant and the Talios both tier into 5-star. Like, you have to be, what, level 56 to max out a Talios? You know, they've gotten content, just not a lot. And it's not easy to release an entire section of the game. And also, the other issue would be, like, if you release 6-star too soon and you had a lot of these players go up there, well, then they wouldn't be able to do anything. They'd have nobody to play with. It would just be like 4 to 10 of them on each server. Some servers might have 20 to 30. That's it. You know, it's just 6 months ago, I think that there were around 40 level 60s. And there's about triple that amount now, I believe. I can go ask Ripper for the specific number. But it's just, you know, that's, you do want to cater to everybody. But at the same time, you know, pushing out new content for 50+ is difficult. What in my opinion they should do is make 50+ events better, make the payouts better, make some of the events worth doing again. Like Swarm Sunday has no purpose if you're 50+. They should redo a lot of the balancing and make that better. I think that would help. So, and Grant, you're right. They did release G5 way too early. G5 wasn't even complete when they released it. Wasn't even complete when they released it. Now, Grant, I will point out that it was intentional that there was no real grind crew for 50+. Again, say what you will about this strategy. Scopely's not the only one to use it. But the strategy is when you release a new set for it to be a premium area. A former community manager went this whole spill with me. It is designed, when you release, whenever 6-star release, it is designed to require money to operate. That's the expectation. That you will spend money to grind, to unlock stuff, to level up. It's a premium area. So, yeah, when 5-star released, they knew that there was no grind crew. Why? Because you were going to have a tougher time grinding, which means that you were going to have to buy Tritanium, which means you were going to spend money to repair every day. Right? We can call that right or wrong. I'm not here to defend them. I'm just here to put it out in the open. This is how things get designed. And Scopely's not the only game that does that. So a lot of times we'll be like, man, Scopely's dumb. They don't know their game. And a lot of times they know a heck of a lot more than we like to admit they know. Things are just designed to be purposely bad. So now that doesn't count a lot of other things. Like when Territory came out, this game was not built to handle, 300 ships blowing each other up every 5 seconds with another 300 trying to get into the system. The game was never designed for that. That's Scopely screwing up. It was never made for that. It was never prepared for that. That's a problem. So, yeah. Clint says, I've always wondered why Scopely isn't making improvements to existing content each month. Well, they kind of have been. Like the past 2 months have been dedicated to updating content, right? Actually, you can argue the past 6 months, because when the Bajoran faction came out, it was meant as basically an update to this on your screen, purple space. It's, even though Bajor is not outlaw, it's the exact same thing. So they have been trying to push a lot of the old content in, and that's the design. Borg, we just did the Talios whole run. Talios is literally just extending the Badar. The past 6 months have really been trying to take older content and push it into the future. So, nice, Ghost Rider. My alliance itself, I think IA has 360s, 460s by itself. So Anders, Theory, Jedi, and Hath. All right, Hath has it. So we got 360s. But there's a ton of 49s. See, our ranked 50 player, Dax, is 55. Our rank 100 player is 49. That means that we've got around 100 players who are level 50 plus. What's Dallas at? Yeah, he's 51. What's a Gus at? Because me and Gus used to play a lot together. Gus is 49. There were almost 100 players who were level 50 plus on my server. Fenris, I doubt you'll ever be able to scrap a hijacked ship, just FYI. Kate, I'm not saying the meta for territories lag the system to keep it, but that's a viable strategy due to the shortcomings of the game. So, will they ever consider adding starbase shields? I have no idea, Traxton. I have no idea. I have no clue. I think it'd be cool, but I think probably they would lean towards no, because you have the ability, because you have the ability to swap crews real quick, but you have the ability to withdraw it, so that would make me think probably not, but maybe. Well, sorry, I'm doing something here real quick. You be for adding docks to star bases for defense? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Our 50 is level 54 and our 100th is level 49. I'm 120th and I'm 49. Nice. Y'all, I'm at like 280 at level 45. So, I have some pattern buffers to spin. What are the best missions? Guru Meditation, I have a video called Pattern Buffers, where we actually have a spreadsheet and we go through that entire list if you want to check it out. What can Scopely learn from Evil Line? Hopefully nothing. Because this is not a PC large-scale MMO. Let's see. Do you have any loot? Because I need loot. I need loot. Yay, some loot. Not a lot, but I'll take it. Hey, what's up, LGR? Think they could take the Starbase cloak detection and give it to Fed ships and have it counter? You already have a research that's meant to kind of do that. So, you already have a research that's meant to counter that if you've done that research. Oh, well, there's nothing there. Let's see. Well, I don't want to do this too much on the stream because I will get stream sniped. It's a thing. But I did get a little bit. That'll help. Every little bit helps. There's a Romulan frog used for camouflage, a croaking device. Very nice. Love it. Let's see, any last minute questions y'all want to grab in before we get close to our wrap up? Any last minute questions y'all want to grab? I'm happy to answer anything y'all have. Doesn't matter what type of question it is, level 5 question, level 55 question. Happy to answer anything. Any hints to new art? Nope. Already said not doing that. How's that trading card progressing since the previews? Actually, very well. I've got to finish. We're going through like typo checks and stuff right now. Typo checks. So I'm actually very close to the starter decks being put ready in print form. Does the Defiant disappear from the Bajoran store after you unlock it? It does, Jeremiah. So, like if you go to my Bajoran store, there is no Defiant. Only my Defiant Amplified Claim, which gives me Bajoran badges and credits based on the tier of my Defiant. And then the other stuff there. What are the big milestones before moving 37 to 39, besides what you said in your hanging at 35 video? Nothing. In fact, I'm a big go from 35 to 39 player. Like just, I mean, obviously pick up the Cerritos and everything. But my goal was to go from 35 to 39. You know, because you got better Armada chests. You got a lot of things. So. Is 10 weeks of level 19 excessive? Because I'm trying to get Franklin before leveling up. Because that's your milestone? No. I mean, in terms of game economy, that's a long time. Like, you don't need to spend near that amount of time at level 19. But because you're focusing on getting those ships, that actually makes a lot of sense. And that's completely viable. Completely viable. So, yeah, that actually is a good strat. And I commend you on that one. Make sure you get those specialty ships if you're not wanting to spend for them later on. Okay. So, where can we buy the card game? So, Dutch guy, it will be... it's through a company called The Game Crafter when I have it set up. If y'all do want to join that Discord, I have a specific Discord for my card game. If y'all are interested in trading card games, I am designing my own. And I've got an artist, you know, I've got a lot of time and money putting it together. But my last announcement was about 2 weeks ago. And the goal is this week to have the stores set up. But we'll see. If y'all want to join that, you're more than welcome. So just another project that I'm working on. Is there any reason why I'm not getting loot from hostiles today? A5, have you already hit 1,500 hostiles in the past, since reset? Like, have you just ground out that many today? That could be the only thing I'm thinking about. How many days before Arc starts you need to lock in your ops? So 72 hours. Wicked. The A5, if you've already hit that many hostiles, that would be the reason. You stop getting rep, you stop getting loot, all that. You can only do so many in 24 hours. Ops 35, about to move up. Would you recommend jumping to 39 quick or just moving to 39 after the efficiencies are done at each prior level? Sugar, either way works. I would say that if you want to go for like the biggest bang for your buck, maybe do 35, 39 during a leaderboard. So you can really capitalize like on all the guns you're going to have to upgrade, all the warehouses, and try to score in a leaderboard this month. But that's maybe what I would do. Again, I'm not saying like, I'm not arguing to sit around forever on it. But at the same time, that's going to be a lot of stuff that you're blowing through. So. How do you do Starbase Tree Prime medals? So are you talking about, hold on, click, research. Are you talking about this? These are purchased. These are like mini primes. They have to be bought in the store. This is the one that you have to purchase. So if you're looking at Prime Ablative armor and like Prime Alliance rep and stuff, those are all things that you buy. So is the battle pass different in 45 instead of 41? Yes. They change every 2 levels in like the 20s and 30s, and then packs and battle pass usually changes every level and in the 40s and 50s. Now it's not a significant increase, but it does increase. And thank you, Unilax, for the brackets. I appreciate that. You have to buy warp interlocks for extra features. Right now, Cosmo, yes, you do. Right now, yes, you do. Juice, next March is not centered around the assimilation arc. The assimilation arc has finished. The assimilation arc has finished. Is Prime Shield better or Prime Armor? Prime Blade of Armor by like a very wide margin. Prime Blade of Armor is a much more valuable Prime. Much more valuable Prime. You save epics until Ops 44 for Armada rare cores. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, you do have to, when you're going 50 plus, get your Armada, your ACC up. And some of those rare times where you're come pulling these. Oh yeah, I gotta do this. Even these payouts are just so low now. I mean, I'm gonna take them. They're so low. They're meh. They're meh. They're meh. I'm just doing it to get the uncommons I need. Let's see. Do this pull. And let's go do this pull. Yay, 3 directives. Isn't that fantastic? That's fantastic. Oh man, the 4-star chests are so bad, but you do need those rare tactical cores. So any good crews for Augur for mission bosses? Is my Trinity or bad? You could use Yuki. Yuki for the shield strip is good. Honestly, you could use a Tau now if you bought Tau. Again, I don't know what all officers that you have, but level 38, should I start working up to celebrate and going into D space or wait until I'm level 40 plus? So Dishman, I would say remember that once you up your factions, you will have more difficult goals to accomplish. So mining 4-star, going after high level hostiles. If you're ready for that, then yeah, go for it. But just make sure that you're prepared for it. If you're not, you might find that a little bit more difficult than you were hoping for. Like biting off a little bit more than you could chew. There are plenty of people who do it. I don't. Because I don't want to handle 4-star that early. Like, I just don't want to go through the hassle of the warp times to get out to where I need to go and all the extra mining in case my alliance doesn't have the territories I need. You know, it's just, for me, it just comes down to like a time and convenience thing. Like, for me, because I hunt feds, I would have to, at 39, I've been flying out to the shy, and, you know, I would be hunting out here, which is really a pain in the butt at 38, 39. It's doable, but it's not fun. So Dutch guy, the only place to get 30-day shields in the game are to buy them. The biggest shield that you can get without spending money is in the Alliance store, and it is the 7-day shield. 30-day shield has to be procured by purchasing it. Oh man, as I move up to 42, when do the 42 ships show up in my away team store? News, you need to have the rep as well as the level. If you are looking for a 42 uncommon, you need to be 80% of the rep required. 80% of the rep required. If you're looking for a 46, the rares, 60% of the rep required. So, if you want to see the uncommons, you're going to need 80% of what, 140 million? Which is 112. 112 million rep before you'll see it. Yeah, pay to not play. Exactly, Sean. Pay to not play. Let's see what other question we have. I don't want to miss anything. I try not to miss anything. And by the way, I appreciate again one more time Hank for donating to the channel. I really do appreciate it. And also would love any feedback on the merch store for those that check it out. Everything does help out the channel greatly. So let's see, what about 3-star epics if I'm triple locked? Epics are also 80% rep. So it changes to 60% rep when you get to the 46 rares. But in terms of away team store, it's 80% rep for everything until the 46s, and then it's 60% rep. So you need to, so if you're talking about 34, then, you know, 8 million rep is what you would need before you started seeing them here in the away team store. There's Mana Prize. Oh, you beautiful bean, you. G5 needs to be out of the away team store. We both know why it's not there, Andy. We both know why it's not there. You have to buy warp interlocks for extra features. Cosmo already answered that. Yes. Yes. Already answered that. Gonna be able to get one of those territory primes for free soon. Are the PvP or protected cargo ones actually any good? I mean, that's relative. Obviously, it's not a pure 100% bonus for anything because it stacks with a lot of other researchers. But yes, I mean, I've already got my prime protected cargo. I went for that one first, and then I'm gonna go for prime PvP next, right here. And that'll be my next one in a couple months for the 150% bonus in PvP fights. But I focused on protected cargo first because one, I'm a pirate, and two, it's more important for me with my miners and everything just to have as much PC as possible. So that's what I did. Oh yeah, component efficiency, Isogen 3. That's for parts of the lithium. But so many things to do and get in this game. So Jose, the M score for a Stella is just pointing you to how many researches you've completed in the research tree that apply to the Stella. That's all that does. So it lets you know, and it's actually a really good barometer for us to kind of get an idea of, okay, are we at where we need to be in the game? As in, have we reached the levels we need to be? Have we accomplished the tasks we need to accomplish? And an M score for like level 39, we talk about, we really would like to be at M scores, 80 at level 39. It's a good M score for your level. So all it does is represent how far you've progressed in that. That's all it does. And there's mine, and you can't see my M score because I'm in the way. I'm at 82 out of 160. I'm at 82 out of 160. And when can I pull that? Tomorrow I can pull that. I don't think I have enough epic uranium, but tomorrow I'll pull that. You have to be at the ops level to build a ship before seeing it in the away team store. I'm 39, don't see a Kelvin yet. You have to be 1 to 2 levels below. So 39s are not going to see 4-star ships, but you would see it at 41, for example. So you would actually see it at level 40. And very nice, Darius. Congratulations. I keep getting bullied on my server and my team won't help me. They let the guy KOS me. That's not bullying, Alakazam. That's called PvP. That is not bullying. I mean, that's just, it's a war game. If you just like really don't like it, I would say just block and ignore that player if they're just harassing you so much. And if you don't give bullies attention, you're calling them a bully, they usually will leave you alone after a while. My option would be fight back. But PvP in this game is never bullying. It's PvP. You have to be at the out. Oh, I already answered that one. Should I start buying Valdor blueprints from the away team store if I am 126 million away from commended? A long way away from commended. It's up to you. Do you want the Valdor? Simple as that. If you want the Valdor, yes. If you don't want the Valdor, no. I mean, it really is that simple. I mean, it's the same as I was talking to somebody earlier, like, should they get the Tribune? Do you want another ship? Would it be fun for you? And then, yeah. And then the other answer would be, okay, now how high are we taking it? That's the only real other answer there is to be had there. Is bullying when people are hitting 10 levels down repeatedly? Nope, it is not. Just like it's not bullying in EVE Online when somebody beats you up your ship either. It is never bullying. It's PvP in a literal game designed around combat. Never bullying. False and similarity between the Vidar and the new ship in the last episode of Picard. Spoilers, not going to discuss it. Why are so many officers command? Is there a better way to source badges? So Ocean Panda, the way to source badges is Apex, the Apex event that runs every month, and doing your Disco refinery, because the Disco pays out the minor commendation that you would go into here, and if you need more command badges, right there. And then obviously the battle pass, typically every battle pass pays out at least one full set of those badges. So, my stronger ship is my Vidar. What faction ship should I get first, Feds or Klingon? Again, up to you. Faction ship choice doesn't really matter. The ships themselves don't matter as much as your research and your officers. Exactly, Wicked. You could even argue that maybe something is someone being a jerk, but PvP in this game is never bullying. If Trader, who is a level 60, literally came by and tried to hit my base every single day, that is not bullying. Not bullying. It's PvP in a war game. This game is a 4X game. For those who are not familiar with these type of titles, that is expand, explore, exploit, and exterminate. It's literally the design of the game. So, even if they did it every 5 minutes, guess what I can do? Really cool button over here called shield. Boop. Now you can't blow my base. Sean, this is literally the game. I mean, this is not a PvE farm game. Move your base. Mine somewhere else. This game is built around conflict. That's not bullying. That's just... Bullying implies a TOS breach. That implies harassment. This is a war game. Alakazam says you sound like my bully. Well, I mean, and I say this in the truly most polite way I can. This game might not be for you if you don't like that. Because that's what these games are. This is what a 4X MMO is. It is a PvP-based accumulate resources and smack somebody else game. That's what it is. So bullying and harassment, that's like you're breaking terms of service in chat and DMs, and you know, that's where we take it seriously, and somebody's being homophobic, transphobic, racist, any of that. Yeah, let's work on getting them banned. But somebody blowing up your ship every 5 minutes? Nope. Nope. I'm not talking about raiding either, Sean. Even if somebody came and blew up my Antares every 5 minutes, not bullying. And it's happened before. Because I was hunted by my entire server, specifically the Whales Alliance, for 2 years. And I just showed you, this same alliance that I'm in is the alliance that hunted me. Y'all see how many 60s and 50s, etc. there are. That's who hunted me for 2 years. You get speed ups on repairs. Repairs for miners are cheap. It's not bullying. News, hope you have a great day, man. Appreciate you. Why is that? Well, there's actually a lot of history and drama on my server, including drama that I caused. So I'm not over here to like preach the innocent Rev thing. But originally, I was the leader of the main alliance's sub-alliance. So they had a second alliance called IG that I renamed into IR. There was a lot of drama that went down. I didn't agree with certain strategies the upper alliance was doing to the lower level alliance. I made war decisions that not everybody agreed with. And basically, I left and abandoned on not so friendly terms. And then there was also an issue that happened. There was also an issue that happened where they did not appreciate that Scopely in 2019, and I'm telling y'all this because this is how it happened on my server. On server 19, Scopely gave me like 30,000 of each armada type because I proposed to Scopely what I would like to do is actually go around and launch armadas to promote armadas because armadas were brand new at the time. And I said, I want to make content videos and I want to go to each alliance on my server and give them free armadas. So what I was doing is I was going to like these the rank 11 alliance and running epic armadas for them back to back and running rare armadas for them back to back. And this made the high level players mad because it was giving low level players content for free that high levels had had to pay for. So I was running these epic armadas, allowing people to get like enterprises that Whales had to spend $5,000 to get it max out, $10,000 to get it max out. So they were getting very frustrated that Scopely had allowed me to go out and basically give stuff away for free. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong to feel that way, but that's one of the reasons things happened is I was going around all these alliances, including the enemies of said alliance, and giving out free armadas everywhere and doing stuff like that. So that angered them, and it became an issue where whatever alliance I was in was hunted. And then eventually, you know, time heals all wounds type of things. We got over it. You know, we let bygones be bygones. It's no big deal. Now, the server war still goes on. Like IA is still fighting Epic and War. So the wars themselves have not really diminished. Those are still happening. But me getting hunted for 2 years no longer happening. So, but as you can see here, the war still rages between Epic, War, and IA. And then every now and then, like Feds was a part of it. Now they're not, you know, and people go in and out, that type of thing. So Warriors is dropping. Diplomacy, don't bother, don't care. Love it. Love it. Love it. Do you get people hitting you just because you're a content creator? Oh, yeah. I have one stream sniper in particular that he's a regular. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen him today. But I have a stream sniper that is a regular that usually anytime I stream, he's going to try to come find me. So. This is what it is. That's the game. Oh, man. A level 40s player in my alliance has no Stella and only 55 BPs and isn't getting any more in the faction store. Is there a reason you know of? Honestly, don't, Guru. Also, why are they a level 40s player with no Stella? What the heck? That's worse than Rev. That's worse than Rev. That's absolutely worse than Rev. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wow. How do you like Season 3 Picard? Loving it so far, Grant. I'm loving Season 3 Picard. Obviously not giving any spoilers away, but loving it. So. Can't get the BPs? No, I mean, that's not the point, Guru. He should never made it there. Because you can't tell me a level 40s player hasn't had event stores at least. There's been a way for them to get it. Am I still ranked 10 in the contribution? Dang it, somebody's passed me. Ugh. Wow, 5 million points. Holy crap. Hypo, I love Picard Season 3 so far. I'm not going to give any reason why, no plot points why. None of it. Nobody's allowed to talk about Picard. Some people haven't seen it. But I personally love it. And I have my reasons for loving it. And if we do a show where we do have a spoiler discussion, I'll explain why I love it. So, I'll explain why I love it. Jeremiah, the stream tonight will all depend on if people redeem it. I do want to say a reminder real quick because we are about to wrap up. A thank you to, I don't want to put out your whole name, but thank you to Jeremy, who also just donated to support me and my family. I appreciate that. Jeremy, I really do. Anybody that buys a shirt or a mug or, you know, supports means the world to me. So big thank you. I'm not going to put out your last name, so hopefully you're in the chat and see it. All of y'all are welcome to help out. Join the Discord, come hang out, and I will see y'all later. I'm going to be streaming tonight on Twitch, as long as Comcast doesn't ruin the day for us again. So if y'all want to come hang out, come hang out. Y'all are amazing. Live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for hanging out as always. I'm out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.